Today's video is going to be another product review from Sushi Cars. Today we're doing the EKR's new line of Cover Dream seat covers. Let's take a look. Here on this sample we have of the new EKR Cover Dream lineup of seat covers. One thing I wanted to point out to you is the thickness of this material. Now you can see here on the underside and the backing of each seat cover, it comes with quite a lot of additional padding, which is going to help with wear, and it's also going to help you enjoy and be more comfortable. Now, one thing I do want to point out is make sure you don't lose this tool. EKR provides it in every box, and it's really important that you have this, because when you're working the seat cover between the seat, you don't want to wear your fingers down to the nub like I did trying to install them. Now, one last thing to point out here while we have it off is these buckles are supposed to be taut. They're not supposed to be overly tightened. So if you do run into a situation where you're trying to get them tight and the seat cover is not fitting perfectly, just take the time to undo the buckle, adjust the seat cover to the right position, and then retighten them under the seat. So without further ado, let's get back into the video. Now for your seat backing, probably the easiest way is to get into the back seat, lay the cover down on this part, and then simply open it up, slide it over, and that's going to be the majority of the first step. You'll be surprised at how easily these go on. Open up the cover with the zipper from the side. Best to use two hands to open it, slide it down nice and firm first time. Don't be lazy when you're putting it on. This does take a little bit of work. Just stretching it down, making sure that the seat cover is as far down as it can go. Now, the next part is that simple. All we're gonna do is simply push down on the leather around the headrest part, and it's going to go over nice and easily. For the next, I'm going to sit the seat upright and then do up the zipper. Now with the seat upright, just take one more opportunity to pull it down as far as you can, and then quickly, you don't have to do the zipper all the way, you're just going to pull it down a little bit. Now we're going to work on tucking in these parts and the back parts that are hanging down, and I'll show you that in the next clip. So when we're trying to get the base in here, just a little tip, tilt the seat back. It's going to help you out a lot. And then using this tool, not pushing on the leather, especially where it's perforated, but using this section here, which has this nice backing, you're going to push this part through. So I'm going to take a little bit of the seat up, just grab it in there and work it through. Now, should look like this. And when we go around the back, we can take one last opportunity. We might have to reach in there a little bit, but we can just pull it down a little bit more, and then just make sure you're as snug as possible right here. Perfect. So now that we've got the seat cover pulled down, you're going to lift up the seat cover that you've installed, and this is part of your factory seat. Now these are just hooked on the bottom, so reach in and unhook them. After you've lifted that up, you start to get through to the EKR seat cover that you have pulled through. Now for me, I'm just going to go ahead and work this through a little bit so that it's tight, and that is as good as the seat is going to get. Once that part's done, you can move on to the seat base, which is what we're going to show you next. I think mine does that. Okay, so here we're going to move on to the seat base. Now this is arguably the easiest part, simply to install it like this. Kidding, of course. First thing you're going to do is undo these buckles. This is going to be what goes on underneath, and that's going to help hold your seat in place which is the part that's going to have the most wear, of course. So I'm going to get these buckles undone. I'm going to keep these loops, these hooks, which are going to hook onto the wiring underneath your seat, and keep those free, and then go ahead, slide this into position. Make sure, take a little bit more time on this inside piece here when you're doing it, just by the seat belt, and then try to work it back instead of putting it on and then tucking it in. Try to work it backwards from the seat. So same thing we did here. We're going to grab that little orange tool and we're going to push this through the back of the seat. Remember, when you do have this, keep the seat tilted back just a little bit to make sure there's extra room in there for the material to pass through. So with the seat cover roughly in place, we're going to take this, and again, don't push on the perforated part. Try to push on this seam or this supported part of the cover here. This is my recommendation. Of course, you can do it whichever way you want. Then we're going to simply push this dangling piece through the seat to the back, and then move to the back where we're going to pull it through a little bit more. So here, successfully, we have the buckle, both sides of it. We're just going to go ahead, clip those in one by one. Just remember, there's usually 3. I don't know about other makes and models, but in all the Toyota EKR covers I've done, there's always been 3. I believe it's for balance. Of course, now I can only find 2 of them. Houston, we have a problem. Now, once you're done, just pull them tight enough so the seat cover is not going to go anywhere, but you don't need to reef on them. They don't have to be pulled too much. Remember, these are not structural components. They're just there to help keep the seat cover in place. Once that's done, you're going to tuck in the front part of the seat cover on the base. But before I do that, we're basically done here. So I'm just going to take these hooks and let extra material tucked right in there. This is going to give you that really nice fit, and it's kind of one of the biggest differences, I would say, between these and other seat covers, is they're really well fitted. In fact, they're so well fitted that, well, sometimes it does require actual work to put them on, but I'd really say this is almost more of a replacement than a simple cover. It's not like anything I've usually seen at your local AutoZone, Canadian Tire, parts shop. So I'm just going to finish tucking this in there, and then we'll just take a look at the semi-finished result. So in closing, what do we think? Well, these are durable, soft to the touch, affordable, and a great option if you don't want to spend thousands on factory leather, or even aftermarket leather for that matter. In fact, at this price point, I can afford to go through these every 2 years on the life of my car and still come out ahead of factory leather. They were easy to install, It was done in less than an hour. All the tools were supplied, and shipping was fast and cheap. So, am I happy with them? Yes. Would I install them again? Well, I have, because this is my third set, if not fourth. So, check them out, EKR, and don't forget discount code SUSHICARS.